Hi everyone, just a couple of minutes quick wrap of this week's Parasha. Hope you're having a nice afternoon. So Parashat Ra'eh is this week. Moshe informed the children of Israel that they may choose between receiving Hashem's blessing for observing his commandments or suffering his curse for rejecting his laws. The ceremony would be held on the mountains of Grizim and Eval, immediately after entering Eretz Israel, during which the consequences of the blessing and the curse would be pronounced. Moshe then turned to the exposition of a number of religious, civil and social laws which were to regulate the life of the nation in the Promised Land. He dealt first with the principle of centralized worship, which was directed against the idolatrous practice of individual worship at any site. All sacrifices were to be brought only to the place chosen by Hashem. Those portions of offerings permitted to the lay worshipper were to be eaten there. However, an animal intended for ordinary consumption rather than for a sacrifice could be slaughtered and eaten anywhere, providing the blood was not consumed. The Bnei Israel were warned not to imitate the hideous rites of the Canaanites, such as sacrificing living children to their gods. The false prophet who attempted to entice them to worship idols was to be put to death. All the inhabitants of a city who, after having been investigated, were convicted of idol worship were also to be put to death. And the city, called an Ir Hanidachat, was to be totally destroyed by fire. Self-infliction of wounds on the body or head as a sign of mourning is prohibited. As a holy people, Israelites are to refrain from eating anything abominable. Moshe therefore reviewed the dietary laws already revealed at Har Sinai. He said that a second Ma'aser Sheni, consisting of 1/10 of one's annual produce of the soil, including grain, wine, and oil, was to be brought by every Jewish man to the sanctuary and consumed by him there. Any Israelite who lived too far away from the sanctuary to bring the Ma'aser Sheni there, could bring its monetary value instead, purchase food there with the money, and enjoy a festive meal with his family and the Leviim. At the end of every 3rd and 6th year of the Shemitah cycle, that's every 7 year, this 10th was to be given to the poor, that's Ma'aser Oni, at home, rather than brought to the sanctuary. At the end of every 7th Shemitah year, during which the land is to remain fallow, a creditor is to release his fellow Jews from any loans which may be due. Yet, this should not discourage anyone from lending money to the needy, for such acts of kindness will be repaid by Hashem.